Welcome, Cancer, to your 2024 horoscope. In this horoscope, I will be walking you through each individual month of the year, giving you a really good understanding of the energy that you will be moving throughout the year of 2024. Now, if you want, grab your birth chart. That way you can take a look to see if you're having any activations this year. You want to check to see if you have any personal planets or points at any of the degree points that we will be discussing in this horoscope. So let's get right into it. So 2024, we have some interesting energies. I actually see 2024 as like 2023, but amped up. So we have Pluto re-entering Aquarius. Now we got a taste of this energy in 2023 from March to June. Pluto entered Aquarius for the first time, only stayed in there for a few months, but this gave us a little bit of an idea, tiny little taste of what this Pluto and Aquarius energy is going to bring us collectively and individually. However, in 2024, Pluto is going to spend the majority of the year in Aquarius and is only going to re-enter Capricorn between September and November of 2024 for the last time. So this year, we are really going to see and get a feel of what this Pluto and Aquarius energy is going to bring us collectively and individually. Now, we also have our eclipses in Aries and Libra shaking up this area of our life. We have the Jupiter-Uranus conjunction. We have Jupiter entering Gemini. And we also have the Mars Jupiter conjunction in Gemini, which I think is going to be pretty big. So we will go over all of this energy. And then at the end of 2024, we have a Mars retrograde, which is really significant. And this energy, we're kind of navigating the end of 2024 and the beginning of 2025. And at the end of this horoscope, I go over some of the energies that we will be moving through in 2025, giving you kind of a heads up of what 2025 looks like. So let's get right into it. So for January, now I have selected a chart for each month to give you a little bit of a visual. Now, January 1st, we have Mercury stationing direct in Sagittarius. So Mercury stations retrograde December 13th, 2023, here in your seventh house of relationships, partnerships, and close personal connections. Retrogrades back into Sagittarius, into your sixth house of work, health, and daily routine. Now, Mercury stations retrograde at 8 degrees of Capricorn and then moves back into Sagittarius, stations direct at 22 degrees on January 1st. Now, the interesting thing about this is that at the end of the year, our Mercury retrograde that we have at the end of 2024, Mercury is going to station retrograde at 22 degrees of Sagittarius. So there's something almost like whatever you're moving through the end of 2023, you're revisiting the end of 2024, especially when it has to do with these sixth house themes and topics, which is your work, health, daily routine, nutrition habits. There's something you're rethinking, reevaluating, and revisiting in this area of life. Now, on January 4th, we have Mars entering Capricorn. Mars is exalted in Capricorn, so this is actually a really great energy to start the year off. Now, depending on if you have a day chart or a night chart is going to depend on if Mars is your most malefic planet, or if Saturn is your most malefic planet. If you have a day chart, Mars is your most malefic planet. And if you have a night chart, Saturn is your most malefic planet. So just kind of keep that in mind as we move through these energies. But Mars entering your seventh house can bring, a conflict. It can bring anger with relationships, or it could just bring a lot of motivation and ambition to form, those one-on-one connections. Now, January 11th, we have our new moon in Capricorn at 20 degrees. This is a perfect time to set intentions for those one-on-one connections or relationships. And also keep in mind, if you watch my content, yes, I do use the monthly lunar cycle, but I also talk a lot about how the intentions you set at the time of the new moon in that sign tends to come to fruition at the time of the full moon in that same sign. And in 2024, we actually have 2 full moons in Capricorn. So also keep that in mind, which is bringing a lot of kind of focus to that seventh house of relationships. So whatever is kind of going on here, January 11th at the time of the new moon around relationships, 6 months later when we have the 2 full moons in Capricorn, there's going to be a lot more energy coming in, and you can also see those intentions start to come to fruition. So keep that in mind as we talk about the new moons and the full moons. Now, January 13th, we've got Mercury entering Capricorn. So as we move through January, there's a lot of focus on relationships, partnerships, one-on-one connections, business partnerships. This is all of your one-on-one close personal relationships. So it's not just your love partnership, but all of those one-on-one connections. Then January 19th, 20th, and 21st, we have a Sun-Pluto conjunction right here in your seventh house. Now you've had Pluto transiting your seventh house for 15 years, changing this area of your life up. And especially when it has to do with how you connect to other people and the types of relationships that you like to form. And so Pluto is getting ready to wrap up this energy and then take that shift into your eighth house in Aquarius. This is basically the Pluto Cazimi. The sun is almost cleansing Pluto here before Pluto makes that final shift into Aquarius, which I find really interesting. But what is fascinating about this conjunction is that this is the same degree points. So the sun and Pluto are going to form a conjunction at 29 degrees. Then the sun is going to enter Aquarius, and Pluto is going to enter Aquarius, and then they'll conjunct here at 0 degrees. These are the same degree points we had the great conjunction at in December 2020 with Saturn and Pluto, or Saturn and Jupiter. So there's something about what we were moving through in December of 2020. Now, this is going to be collectively and individually. So if you think back to that time period, what were you moving through? I think we can all get an idea of what we were moving through collectively as far as the US presidential elections, I think is going to be a big thing. And then the pandemic. There's going to be something revealed here. Remember, Pluto can bring up fears, but Pluto can also bring what is hidden to light. This can be revelations. This can be secrets revealed. And even in your own personal life, what were you moving through? There's a refresh here. There's something going on with whatever you were navigating in December 2020. I find that really interesting. Now, on the 23rd, we've got Venus entering Capricorn. So again, bringing more focus to, relationships, one-on-one connections. January 25th is when we have our full moon in Leo at 5 degrees, which is right here in your second house of money, finances, material possessions. And so if you think back 6 months prior, what was going on? What intentions were you setting around the second house themes and topics? So money, finances, values, material possessions. This is when those intentions can start to come to fruition. On the 26th, we've got the Mercury-Mars conjunction right here in your seventh house. Now, generally speaking, when we have a Mercury-Mars conjunction, this is where we want to be watching our communication. This is where there could be a lot of conflict. We can be speaking before really thinking about what we're saying. This could be anger. And so this is something we'll see, collectively and individually, and especially in that seventh house of one-on-one connections. You want to be, just watching how you're communicating to others, and there could be some conflict within those one-on-one connections. Now, January 27th, we have Uranus stationing direct right here in your 11th house. Now, you've had Uranus in your 11th house since 2018. So, this is an energy you've been navigating for some time now. Then we get into February. Now, in February, we have all planets direct. It is go time. I always suggest that when we have all planets direct, this is when you want to launch, when you want to start something new, when you